Alright, we're up here in the wilds of Iowa, putting the stock on some fish. I think they went this way. Yeah, there's trout here, alright. We're gonna go through how to spot and stock fish when you're walking through the river. We've got up here, the water's really low, it's a little bit later in the year, and as I've been walking through the river, I've been paying attention to where I'm spooking fish from. I think sometimes we tend to beat ourselves up a little bit. You walk through a hole and you spook some fish, like, oh, I'm a freaking idiot! Oh! Well, I mean, you might have been dumb spooking that fish, but if you pay attention to where that fish spooked from, it actually teaches you a little bit about where the fish are holding. And you can use that to identify that same water type moving up the river to see where the fish are likely going to hang out. Case in point, today I've been walking up this beautiful little creek and the fish are not in the riffles. I have not spooked a single fish out of the riffles, even when Alex was like, I guarantee there's going to be a fish in that riffle. And guess what? There wasn't a fish in that riffle because I've been paying attention. They've all been in the pools, like this one behind me. There's like 12 fish right there. You can't see them, but I promise they're real. The fish are hanging out in the pools, so I know as I keep moving up this river, I want to target the pools that are a little bit deeper, a little bit slower water, but still have some good current pushing through them. That's where I've been catching all the fish today. So if you pay attention to where you're spooking fish from, it also gives you some info on where you can start casting to target some fish. A few other things to remember when we're trying to spot and put the stock on some fish. Make sure you're trying to stay low. I'm a little lucky. We've got some cloud cover today, so I'm not throwing a bunch of shadows like I normally would if it was really sunny. But I still am trying to stay low. The water, like I said, is really low, really clear right now, so the fish are pretty spooky. You want to stay low and then minimize the false cast, all right? This isn't Instagram, this is real life, okay? Nobody cares about your false casting in real life. You've got to just get that fly to where it needs to be. Minimize the false cast. You're going to spook fish less often if you do that. Really quiet to avoid scaring the fish. Have to almost whisper. Okay, that's a load of crap. All right, that's just something that we made up so that kids would be quiet when we're forced to take them fishing early Saturday morning when they should be watching cartoons and terrorizing their mother. In all seriousness though, I am keeping a low profile on purpose because this pool is picture perfect for where the fish have been today. They're in these pools, they're in the deeper pools that have a very pronounced current running through it. So I don't want to spook them. I don't want to mess this chance up. So I'm going to try and stay low. I'm going to try and put this fly out there where I think the fish are going to be. You don't have to crouch all the time. I personally like to because I've gotten fat in my old age. I'm not as stable as I was. I tend to trip and fall and waddle and wobble. And so I kind of like keeping a low profile just because I feel like I'm gonna cause less of a scene moving up on pools like this. Also, if it's the middle of the summer and the water's up, I'm not gonna crouch quite like this. Fish have great eyesight. Okay, and often when they're spooky, like they are right now, just doing a little thing to try and lessen your silhouette, just to try and lessen your presence, can probably help pull more fish out of a hole. You'll end up having a better day. I found it's worked really well for me. It's something that I've shown clients as well when I've been guiding. Look at it as a tool that you can use to more effectively get close to fish without scaring them. you're stalking some fish, you're coming up to a pool where you think there's likely going to be fish, like the one right behind me, stop well before you think that you actually need to. Okay, because often we underestimate how close we can get, or more accurately, we overestimate how close we can get, and we end up walking and spooking the whole pool. So stop well behind the pool, like I have here, and just watch. Just pull up the rock, kick them dogs up, take a load off, and watch. In the time that I was sitting here before we got the cameras on, there were like 3 or 4 fish rises that I saw that if I would have just come up and just started casting away, I would have missed. I wouldn't have seen them, probably would have spooked those fish. So when you get to a spot that looks really good, stay back further, look at it, and then plan where you're gonna cast, how you're gonna move. If you actually plan it out that way and you stick to it, you're less likely to spook fish. Hopefully these tips help you learn a little bit more about spotting and stalking fish and putting those theories into practice. Using what we've talked about today, I've been able to put a few fish in the net. Hopefully, when you're out on the water next, you can do the same.